Oh, hey. I'm going to say everything I just said again, guys. I'm so sorry. Can you guys hear me? Hang on, before we keep going.
Yeah, Frank the Tank, it's your fault for not telling us
it's someone else,
until 6:05.
Can you guys hear us yet?
No, I'm blaming Frank. It's fine.
Can you guys hear
us?
Hey! I'm going to say everything I said again. I wish we could edit it out, but again, that's what happens when you're live. You can't do that. Check us out on Spiders After Sunset Social. Is what I was trying to say. We just announced the winner.
Blame the elf. Blame the elf.
Sure. Blame literally anyone else but us. Right? So, good evening, everyone. Tonight we are talking about sexing tarantulas.
Via molt.
Via molt, which is how you should do it. There are many people who are really good at vent sexing. We are just not those people. Yeah. And I think taking the time to kind of understand, this is an art. Because, you know, I'll be honest, I'm actually kind of excited about tonight. I don't know how to do a lot of all of this. I have a basic understanding.
Yeah, when I asked Ryan to teach me how to molt sex, I asked him, a question. I asked him, do you have to, do it within a certain amount of time to make sure the molt doesn't, get disintegrated with this?
It's okay. Keep going. Yeah, she had a lot of questions about that. He was
like, yeah, you have to be quick. And I learned a lot since then. So
anyway, the point is, there's a lot to this. This is what I would call an art. And I'm saying that from an outsider, from someone who has watched somebody kind of dive into this and kind of understand the anatomy and all the different species. It's not as straightforward as you might think. And I think there might be some confusion as to what anatomy you're looking for when it comes to, I don't know. Identifying anatomy, and then that anatomy will change over time for different species. And different genera present to you different visuals, so you kind of have to dive into that and kind of know what you're looking at. Right. So while I'm waiting for Jess to kind of fix our camera over here, so I'm gonna jump into that in a minute. We're gonna talk about that tonight. We're gonna I'm gonna show you guys what Jess does. We, generally speaking, we're confident when we sex tarantulas under molt. We wait for the animals to present us with a shed skin or an exuviae or whatever you want to call it, a molt, and then we check it out under a microscope. And that's what we recommend that everyone take the time to learn and to kind of figure out, because that, my friends, is the most accurate way to do sexing tarantulas, right? And if you get good enough, and I'm saying this again from an observer, you can do that when they're very, very, very small. No, I'm not. Let's see. Yes, today, not tomorrow. I know this is a week. We're a week overdue.
6 days.
So, and we'll talk about that too before we dive into things. Yeah, it's been a rough start to 2025. The weather has been horrendous, and we sell spiders, and but we do so we do so, I guess, responsibly, if you want to call it that. And so we haven't been shipping anything out, literally since before 2025. We haven't shipped anything out. We've had maybe 3 or 4 orders go out, and most of those were geckos. And it's been a rough start. So we had to wait for weather break, and we finally got one, and that was last week. So we had to postpone this because we have to coordinate with everybody and make sure everyone's on the same page and all that good stuff. So it kind of ate away at our time. So let me see. That's okay. I'll jump over there in a second. Jump over in a second and figure that out. Anyway, so we're going to talk about molting. This is by request. You guys asked for this, so you're welcome. We love you. Thank you. And thank you for everyone who has subscribed. Thank you for everyone who has joined our Facebook group, Spiders After Sunset Social. Again, we're doing monthly giveaways. We just do our logo. Not yet. We're not done. Hey, I'm not done. All right, go. This month, we gave away a $50 gift certificate to martialarachnids.com. You can spend that with us. I highly recommend you wait for that. And then this month, we just announced a Subfusca Highland female, Postlitheria Subfusca Highland, and that is a gift.
Giveaway.
It's a giveaway. Give. You're not giving us anything for that. You're just
Gibby.
doing a couple of things.
Yes.
So check that out. All right. Well, guys, let's dive into it. I got to jump over here and fix this monstrosity over here.
Rocking the emo strand.
Oh.
Gotta take care.
Are we talking about my hair right now?
I don't know.
You guys, come on.
Just said rocking the emo strand.
I need a haircut.
Once the $1 gift card giveaway for April. Hey, Frank, it's only February 1st. You're very early.
Yeah.
All right, let's do
anyway,
this.
yeah, guys, this is the art of sexing tarantulas.
Hello.
Yes. All right, we're back, guys. Give me a minute here.
Better early than late.
I'm gonna fix some cameras here.
Yeah.
Give us just a moment.
We're gonna figure this out. I don't know what happened. Let's see.
There we go. Is that okay?
I mean,
better?
No, but
I can work with this.
I think you gotta get just a little here. Let's see.
So guys, we're going to show you. So this is, I'm going to have Jess walk you guys through kind of what you're looking at here. And this will look different here once we start giving you guys stuff to look at.
Yeah.
But this is how we go about sexing our tarantulas at many life stages. So doesn't matter if they're literally 3/4 of an inch or if they're a full-blown adult. This is always the kind of the method. I mean, how accurate you are might depend on that life stage. All right. So I'm going to mostly be talking. I'm going to be rambling here. I'm going to let Jess kind of do her thing because you're going to have to see what you're doing here.
Yeah. So Babsy Cat, this is a, the name sounds really silly. It's called a decorn.
Decorn, like corn from Iowa. Shout out to the corn people.
A lot of these LCD microscope camera situations here are just these cheap situations with Amazon. I got this one on a sale at probably $75.
Check out our description, by the way, because I'm pretty sure Jess linked one of those.
I did link a bunch of relevant things in the description in this description here. Where did you acquire the setup? What setup are you talking about? Yeah,
so let's kind of go through it. Let's kind of talk about this is kind of a Frankenstein setup.
It is, absolutely, because we're cheap.
Why don't you just I don't want to say we're cheap.
No, we are cheap though. So this is a solid, not punched 4-inch deli cup lid, which is sold through various, I don't think I have this particular thing linked in the description.
It's a deli cup lid.
Yeah, it's meant for shipping various herps. Not punched though. This has no air holes or anything in it because we want to, we don't want to refract the layer or anything on this thing. But you can use any plastic solid.
I think the reason why Jess uses this, let me see this, is because it's got a ridge. It's like a little reservoir. Let me see right here. Right. So basically it holds water.
Yeah, it's kind of we have to kind of explain how we do the process before we can explain each piece of the puzzle here. So this has a ridge on the edges that keeps, it's kind of a reservoir for, like Brian said, liquid for when we are going to put some liquid on our molts.
Yep. And then, so let's see, just after that, underneath this, Jess, what do you got there? You've got a little...
just a half a piece of paper towel or any, a white piece of paper, like printer paper would work for this. This is just, this works for...
It's kind of diffusing light.
Yes, contrast. Contrast for all the sclerotized pieces of the anatomy that we're looking at. This is dirty, kind of, because whatever. And then this is just again a piece of plastic. This is a Pioneer Plastics lid that I used to just elevate. You
can literally buy acrylic like stands to go under these things on Amazon. We just literally used what we had, but it's just essentially just to create a translucent platform.
Exactly.
And then and all of this is really cheap. Jess, I would say altogether,
Oh,
Looking at this setup here, what are we looking at here?
$10, $15 tops. Maybe
No.
20.
With the microscope.
Oh, with the microscope, less, maybe 90 tops. 85. Okay. Yeah. The bulk of this price is the microscope, which again, this particular one, which is a lower end LCD microscope, was on sale for $75. I believe $75. I think it was 90 when it was, at not on sale price. They might be a little bit more expensive now because I got this one probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's not a great microscope, but it definitely does what we need it to do.
Does the trick for us.
Absolutely.
Yep. I think that's kind of the takeaway here.
Yes. So this is just a platform to kind of raise the subject up to the light here, because this I don't know what the wording is, but like this microscope doesn't bring the subject down to. It kind of does. It does,
but not good enough. Yes. It just gives you more versatility.
Yes.
I would say.
Plus, with tarantula molts, we want a backlight.
Come in here.
I mean, I can't do what I'm doing with the microscope with that.
Because I'm like, this is not my world. I do not have the patience for this, but this is valuable because this is how we're able to sell. Oh, I did it again.
Oh,
all right, so that's number one. But this is how we're able to sell very, very small confirmed sex females.
Yes.
So if you're interested in that, or if you want to know like an animal that you just got from a vendor, if you want to confirm its sex, so you know kind of right off the bat, if you're looking for a male or a female, this is good information to know.
Yes. Yeah. So where was I at? So this particular I think it's fine.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Please do hit that like button. Thank you, Frank. So these particular microscopes, so they do pretty good. I'm going to kind of see if I can demonstrate. So you can see that is the texture of my hand right there. So you might not be able to see the quality of that texture in that camera. That's okay. But my hand is maybe less than an inch from that lens. So we're going to try to get a backlight, which I will explain in just a second here. We're going to try to get a backlight onto these tarantula molts that we're going to sex here, because that will give us a good, much better view of these molts with a backlight.
Yeah.
That's actually better than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be like really opaque.
I'm telling you, man, these little things, they kind of...
yeah, look at that.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good. Look at my skin.
So you can imagine when you're looking at very, very small pieces of anatomy where like these LCD screens are pretty useful.
Yes.
And you don't have to invest. The whole point of this is to show you like you don't have to invest a lot of money. You just really have to kind of take the time to understand what you're looking at. And that we're going to talk about that tonight too, because there's certain anatomy that you guys that we want to point out that you want to see. So when you're looking at males or females, right?
So like I was saying, we want to backlight the molt, so that gives us a much better a lit view of that sort of translucent exoskeleton of those tarantulas. So we use this puck light. This is just one type of puck light that we got on Amazon. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, push down on it.
You push it to, it's got a little in there.
And you can buy microscopes that have a backlight.
Exactly.
Right. We just kind of made our own because it's cheaper to do so.
Yeah, exactly. What's the maximum magnification? I'm pretty sure this one, it's not a lot. I want to say it's only...
I don't know.
I honestly, Wayne, I bought this one probably 4+ years ago, and I only got it because it was on sale, and it has served us quite well. But I want to say it's tops. Actually, I don't even want to say because I don't know. But it's not a lot. You don't need a lot. You
don't need a lot.
60
I think
to
you just need a clear
120.
picture is really...
Exactly.
Yeah.
For most species.
Yeah. Frank, to answer your question, what size slings? I don't think it's the size necessarily. I think it's like the species.
So relative size.
Yeah, so Jess is going to show you how she manipulates the molts, which I think, in my opinion, that's kind of like the most tedious process of this whole thing. Is unraveling, because
Yes.
I've handed Jess like carnage before, like things that I'm like, I don't know what you're going to do with that, but like the anatomy is there. So I think, and she's going to show you how to unravel stuff tonight. We've got a few slings that we can look at, but really anything over 3/4 of an inch, usually.
Yeah, it really depends on the species.
Yep.
There's a lot of dwarf species which are extremely sexable by 3/4 inch, like Syracosmus.
Syracosmus.
Syracosmus species. Carabinus species like C. versicolor, I think they're very readily sexable by an inch. But the problem that I've noticed over the few years that we've been raising them is that they like to really destroy their molts.
Yeah.
Like actually destroy them.
Yeah. And we keep them humid and warm, so you can't really blame it on that. They're just a little problematic.
Yes.
So I got it.
Yeah. So we're gonna do quite.
There you go. Gotcha.
Quite a few different genera. Yeah. And all of the molts that we have here tonight are already sexed in our collection, so we're not doing any guesses here.
Yeah, it's not so much about that. It's really just talking about anatomy and kind of showing you guys the process.
Yes.
And then we do have a couple slings, and it's always kind of like a roll of the dice as to what we're going to see.
Yes.
But that's okay. It's more or less just to show you guys the process. So.
Yes, and an interesting thing with a lot of tarantula species is that if you don't know what you're looking for, you can very easily mistake certain anatomy, like male anatomy, for female anatomy. And you might have heard a little bit about male accessory organs. There's a lot of different genera of tarantula species that have really big accessory organs for males. There I am.
Yes, and I know you guys make this mistake. Not you necessarily, of course, because you would never do that. But some of you, we've seen that happen. We've seen pictures posted online. It's like, that's clearly a male. Yes, we know what you're looking at might look like female anatomy. You might be thinking you're seeing spermathecae, but you're seeing accessory organs. So
I promise you that's very big male accessory organs. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna put it in this.
You're gonna make them look at me.
I would do this.
Okay. Are you gonna do your thing? So, hey, while
Just
Jess
for
is
a
doing her
second,
thing, because
not for long.
Well, I'm gonna have Jess do her thing, and then I'm gonna like feed slings while she's doing it.
No, you gotta like narrate what I'm doing.
Oh yeah. No, I can do all that. But yeah, anyway. I'm gonna be feeding. I've got lots of slings to feed. You know, the business never ends. So I'm gonna be feeding some stuff.
So, for sexing molts, the #1 MVP is dish soap. And I know that sounds really silly, but we put like 1 or 2 drops of dish soap, like Dawn dish soap, in this 8-ounce bottle of water. And just this little like squeeze bottle is really convenient for like squeezing it onto the. Oh, you guys can see that, but it's perfect. Yeah. So all you need is that 1 little drop of dish soap to kind of
you're breaking the surface tension of the water.
Break
is what you're doing.
Break the barrier of the exoskeleton of the tarantulas, which is naturally hygroscopic. Is that the word? No, hydrophobic. Hydrophobic. Yes. So the exoskeleton of the tarantulas naturally repels water. If you use this dish soap, it breaks that barrier to kind of make that
pliable. It makes the exoskeleton a little more pliable, and you can manipulate it that way. Because if not, it's gonna crumble. It's very brittle. So what you want to do is kind of reinforce it with the soap.
Hydrophobic, yes.
Yeah, hydrophobic, yes. Thank you, Frank. So a little bit of dish soap, a little bit of water. Yes. Let the tarantula exuviae or molt kind of soak in that a little bit, and then that makes it a little more workable. And you're going to see here, Jess is going to fumble with some parts. Yeah,
so here is a typical exuvia from, I believe this is a Saba Blue, Firmingocallis Saba Blue juvenile. It looks like it's kind of destroyed. I mean, you can't really tell what's going on here. The abdomen looks a little bit twisted. We're going to check to see what's going on with this. What's going on with this exuvia? So my thing, I like to remove all of the legs of the exuvia for these juveniles, just because I feel like they get in the way most of the time. So we're gonna place that into that Dawn
Again.
dish soap. Mixture here.
No, I think we're good. Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I can't throw my hands up. But yeah,
You
we're good.
can't,
Keep going.
you can't
Keep
make
going.
gang signs.
Keep going. No
Right.
gang signs.
No gang. Not you just made a gang sign.
Sorry.
All right, so we're gonna let that absorb some water here. Slowly, that's going to break down the hydrophobic barrier with the Dawn dish soap.
Happy little feeding some Versicolor
Give
here.
that a second. We don't want to rush this because the exuvia are kind of brittle. They're very thin and brittle. We don't want to break anything that we need to use to sex. So
And I've seen folks that will like kind of do this separately. The problem with doing it like separately, like submerging it in like a container like this and then transferring it to your platform, I think you have more problems doing it that way. I would say do it all under your microscope if you can, and use something with a barrier, because that transfer can cause problems. So yeah, let me hop over there.
Where?
Hop over there and kind of adjust.
Okay.
You good?
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see. It'll make a little
there
more
we
sense.
go.
There we go. Okay,
We
and if
got
you
the,
need me, I
we
can
got the
adjust
ring
the
of
ring.
fire, but no,
Yeah.
it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
Doing a jutsu.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Yep, so we're just gonna let this exuvia kind of absorb that the soapy water after a few minutes. Might take a second. I kind of like to let a couple molts absorb the water at a time, but since we're working with some larger ones, we'll give that a couple second. Darn it, lost track of time. Lost track of time. That's okay, Larry. We just started.
Oh yeah. We've just been rambling this whole time, Larry.
Oh, I didn't turn my little puck light on yet.
Yeah, the little puck light you got to turn on
Back
there.
light.
That might help with the ring.
Yes. Here, that helps a little.
Okay.
So
And if the ring is in the way, I can move it around.
no, it helps a lot because these LCD microscopes, they come with their own lights, but as you might be able to see in a second, there's a lot of reflection here, and you might be able to see that. I don't know if you
guys
can
see
quite tell.
the decorn? Decorn.
Yes.
You're reading that right. That's the brand. So if you guys
But
really want it,
every bubble, like air bubble in these things, everything, it kind of reflects here. So it's better to backlight these exuvia than it is to front light them. So we're going to kind of decrease that lighting through the microscope as we're letting that molt absorb some more soapy water and break down.
yeah, if you need me to, it would be nice to, we ran out of time. We were going to experiment and see if we could just plug the microscope directly into this so that you guys could just see that, but
Nope.
we're out of time.
Yeah. Oh.
See if how this molten red seems to be stuck in old mold. The rest of the Well, good, Matt. I'm glad she's still alive. If you want to send us photos, you can email those to marshallarachnids.com and maybe we can help. Jess is really good at doing tedious little processes of like removing molds and whatnot. She might be able to help you if there's anything stuck, but at least she made it out. Yeah, you're right. Careful how you say it. Yeah, Matt, go ahead and email us, Arachnids. Please provide photos if you can, and Jess will help you.
Yeah.
Each case is kind of unique. You know, there's not really like a blanket. This one just molted the good on that one.
Yeah.
Over. See, actually, I got a little molt here. Let me see if I can pull it out.
Trying to give you guys a good zoomed out perspective of this first one here, but
Nice little molt. Yes.
yeah, so this particular individual, this is a pokey of a Poecilotheria of some species. I'm not even gonna try to recall which species it is. It's probably.
It's not from microscope.
No, this looks like a pokey.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm not sure. Who knows?
Okay.
What is the email again?
marshallarachnids@gmail.com, my friend. Go ahead and send us some photos, and we will help you out.
Yes.
Just will.
So if you look at this from a distance, which I'm not going to show you again because it's kind of soaked in this solution we have here, it looks kind of destroyed. But that's okay. Most of the time, most tarantulas do not completely destroy their molts.
At least the parts that you need to see.
Yeah, at least the parts that we need to see to sex them. So this is a pokey. I don't remember which species this is, but it's already sexed. It's already verified. So we're just doing this as a demonstration. So you I'm not really sure if you can tell what I'm doing here. I prefer to remove the attached carapace in the top of the cephalothorax. Kind of gets in my way. We're just going to gently take the top of the abdomen. I don't think you guys can see what I'm doing, but...
Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me see if I can help them.
Yeah.
Let me go around. Go around.
Yeah. So I prefer to remove the distal portions of the legs and the portions of the abdomen and thorax that are not beneficial to sexing. So... Oh, okay.
Yeah, see that, guys? So the distal end of the abdomen has been removed. The carapace has been removed. So
just to get it out of our way.
Yep.
Okay.
And then right now, she hasn't even started on this part of it. She's just getting the anatomy she doesn't need out of the way.
Yeah.
And then now we'll start kind of peeking at the anatomy we might want to see. So just move your tongues real quick. Okay.
Doesn't look like much right now, but we have the...
So what I want people to notice...
section of the abdomen, yeah.
Look how high up she's looking for the anatomy, right, on the abdomen, okay?
Very blurry on your phone, but there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay.
All right, so now we'll let her do her thing.
Okay. So it's going to be hard to kind of translate this to words, but you can kind of see that what is on the microscope screen right now is the section of the underside of the thorax, which
Can
is...
you kind of point with your tongs
yes.
down below?
Yes. So this whole thing is kind of the back end, the distal end of the underside of the thorax. And then to give you kind of frame of perspective, let's move this a little bit. It's so hard to...
Yeah, this is a tedious process, but this is good. This is what I want people to see.
Yeah, because this
is how you do. So this is how you do this whole thing with accuracy.
Yes.
This takes time.
Here, so this is again a terrible representation, but these are the chelicerae of the molt. So this is kind of a bigger molt that we're sexing here. This molt is at least 3 to 4 inches. So these are the chelicerae. We want to position these in a position that is like down, so the fangs are attached to these chelicerae, and the legs, the front legs are pointing south from where I'm sitting at least. So this is how I prefer the relative positioning of these exuviae when I am sexing them. Do we want to put...
So the chelicerae are facing you?
Yes, the chelicerae are facing me, the person who is sexing, at least in the microscope. And the distal legs are pointed away from me. The abdomen is pointed away from me. So let's see if I can kind of get this on camera too. There are so many fungus gnats.
Yeah, I mean, the chronicles continue, guys. I mean, right now we have a reason for the fungus gnats. We are actually cultivating them. I cannot believe we're saying this.
That's true.
We're actively cultivating them in the spider room for the ogre face spiders, and it's working. So I'm not going to stop. So it's an excuse, right? It's like, oh no. But they're a feeder source.
They're annoying as heck, but
at night, the ones that escape they're in our faces,
Yeah, it's great.
and it's annoying.
I don't have a good visual representation in this particular example of the sucking stomach, but that is one that I would like to.
Yeah, we'll find it.
I think that's actually right here, but yeah, see this right here?
Oh yeah, there it is. It's a little
You see
stem.
that?
And what part of the
Yes.
anatomy are you in right now?
So this is just beyond the chelicerae.
In the
right?
carapace.
Yep, right in the carapace. It's kind of hard to tell because everything is kind of being folded over by the surface tension of the water in the dish soap. Of course, I just lost it.
Trevor,
but-
yes, they are. They are for the trash bin spiders. Yes. Which are doing very well, by the way. Thank you.
Oh yes, our trash bin spiders.
Our trash kids. The trash
Trash
clan.
Yeah.
We're going to call them the trash clan
Trash
kids.
patch. Yeah.
Trash patch, whatever. Anyway, you best believe.
Anyway.
Oh,
Here we go. Yep, right in the center of the screen here. This is the sucking stomach that I'm touching with the tweezers here. If y'all can see that, you probably can't, and that's okay.
I can see it. I mean, I know what I'm looking at, but
There we go.
that's a sucking stomach.
Yes. So
So-
this is a very important piece of the anatomy that is responsible for much of the eating and drinking, function of the tarantula.
Yeah, and it's very important that they completely pull that anatomy through when they're molting.
Yes. I have never witnessed any spiders not molt that part successfully and then fail. Although I'll be honest, I don't technically really examine that most of the time.
It's usually there. Like if you, the only time that's a problem, I would say, like, you're not going to see that is usually is during a wet molt or the animal dies in molt. Otherwise,
Yeah, which is like if it didn't molt the sucking stomach, there's not much else you can do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they need that. And again, guys,
Anyway.
the best approach to this is just prevention, right? So like moisture,
yes,
heat,
providing
metabolic moisture, like we talked about last week or the week before. Making sure they have lots of water, right? So misting, water dishes, things like that. That's how you make sure that your animals molt correctly. And also heat, right? Because as we've talked about in previous streams, heat is the form of energy that the animals use to pull themselves out of molts. So
yes.
depending
Get
on the
some
species.
sundews. Yes, we need to get some sundews.
Dude, I love
100%.
sundews.
Corey says you guys are great. Really love what you guys do for the army. Thank you so much, Corey.
Thank you, friends. We try.
Heck yeah.
It's mostly Jess.
No, it's mostly Corey sending us good mails.
Oh, yeah. Corey, thank you so much, dude.
There,
Guys,
that's
like,
it.
I am so excited for all of the breeding projects we have going on this year. Like,
Yes.
this is going to be our year. Like, our animals are finally reaching maturity. Animals that we've been raising for years.
Yeah, they're
are
like
finally-
acclimating to the Tennessee climate
Yep, and
because that's a thing.
it is a
The
thing.
Michigan climate is different.
It's horrendous.
Yes.
It's going to be good stuff. We're going to make lots of cool stuff. And thank you to everyone who has helped us acquire the animals we need to
Yes.
for all of our breeding projects. You guys are
Yes.
amazing. We have lots of males on loan right now to lots of hobbyists.
Yes.
So we're really excited about that.
Yes.
I know, guys, sorry, we're like actively like.
It's okay.
You,
Did you read Math Gangster's comment?
yeah, he's gonna
This
send
one?
you an email. Oh, okay, just send an email with pictures.
Awesome.
Okay, yep. Jess, we'll tackle that as soon as we're done here, Matt.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
Awesome. Our fungus gnats, the little white bastards. They're usually black. with
They're black
clear-
and they're flying around.
Their wings are tiny.
Lots of
little white bastards. I'm not really sure what the little white bastards are.
Yeah, I
but-
mean the larvae are in the soil, but you're really not going to see those larvae. The fungus gnats are flighted,
yeah,
little-
the gnats
little-
themselves are black.
horrendous little things.
I mean, whatever. But anyway,
They're not springtails or dwarf whites. They're not
Yes.
that. They're flighted. Yeah.
Okay. I know you guys can't tell what the heck I'm looking at here. Forward flies I hate. Yes, forward flies are the worst.
That's another one that's also terrible.
If you can kind of see down here, I've got the molt position to, again, that the chelicerae are facing me and the abdomen is facing away from me.
I'm gonna help.
So, in the microscope view right now, I'm looking at the center of the cephalothorax right now, which is not what we want to look at for sexing, but it's a good frame of reference for what the heck, where we're positioning everything. So this particular molt is kind of, it's kind of messed up. So this is the abdomen of this particular molt. Again, it's kind of destroyed, but that's okay. It looks good enough for us to sex. Because all we need is, and I will show you this in just a second here, the epigastric furrow, which is where all the sexual organs of these tarantulas are found.
I want you to, do you have one in here where the abdomen is still intact? Maybe for the next one we can kind of show them.
Absolutely. Yeah, this
so
is like the worst. So instead of tearing
things away. So
I guess is the worst example.
Ooh, yeah, we probably, sorry, I got excited. You probably shouldn't have started with Jess knows what she's doing, so she tears anatomy away. Once we find what we need. Okay, we'll do that later too. We'll show you kind of on a full abdomen what to look for, but Jess just knows that a lot of anatomy is really wasted when it comes to this.
No. So the nicer way to put that is like, even if you think that the anatomy is like kind of destroyed and it's unsexable, I can promise you 90% of the time, if it's over an inch and a half in diagonal leg span, it's sexable. You just gotta kind of know what you're looking.
Kind of fold the book on this one, and then we'll go to one that hasn't folded. Yeah, keep going. Show them what they want to see on this one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then we'll.
So, I don't know what you guys can see. So, like these.
They can see it all. They can see
these like kind of white segments here. Those are the book lungs in the abdomen. So that is exactly what we want to find.
So we want to go north of those. Right?
We want to go north or central. We want to find the central position of those because there are 2 pairs of book lungs on the abdomen for each tarantula, and the
I'll show you what Jess is doing here.
Nothing. I'm not doing anything.
It looks really exciting. But I just want you guys to see how tedious this process can be. But what she's trying to do is unfold the abdomen as it comes off the carapace. Here it goes. Here we go.
So this is pretty destroyed, but like I said, I believe all of the sexual organs are intact on this. We're going to see it just a second here.
This microscope is so good, you can kind of see, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I can see where I've dropped the tongs and bent the tips of them. Which you can't see with your naked eye, but I can see it under the microscope.
Stop, you're making me laugh. All right. So this is a terrible example, but it's okay.
No, that wasn't what I wanted.
No, it's hurting my eyeballs.
I know, I'm going to try and turn it down.
And some of this manipulating the molts here is legitimately just like poking and prodding and just seeing if it will unfurl itself. And that takes a lot of patience and precision because you can tear these things to the point where you can't really recognize what's going on with them. I'm seeing a reflection with our light here, so I'm going to go ahead and turn our microscope light off. Where is...
You need my light?
No,
you want to add light?
Yeah, because my backlight turned off too. Let me turn that back. There we go.
Yeah, all I really want to show you guys with this is the exact anatomy that you're looking for so that we can confirm. Like, if you guys don't really understand what you're looking at, that's okay. I just want to show you the sexual organs that you want to see.
I watch on YouTube. Yes, they're the best. Exactly. Yes, I promise you, it's really hard to like talk to you, like explain to you what.
Also, look, guys, we literally have a whole jar full of molts, so like we can do this all night if you guys have any questions.
And that's just the last 2 months.
Yeah, it never ends. And I just pulled. Again, I've got little itty bitties here that we can look at too.
My battery died. Do you have the headlamp there? Yeah, AA batteries.
Oh.
That's okay.
Hold on.
That's okay. Okay, let's see. Backlight is always the best because this is kind of like a... I don't even know how to describe it. Wow. Okay. Brian's getting me some batteries. Yeah, so you might be able to tell how that is a little bit better to view with a backlight. Damn, this is not the best view for you guys. There we go. Okay. So we're going to try to unfurl this abdomen and see if the sexual organs are even viewable. This is a little bit not the greatest molt, but that's okay. So a lot of these sexing procedures just involves poking and prodding the exuvia to kind of like unfurl itself, because you don't want to tear the pieces because they're extremely sensitive, especially with the soaked water. They can be very pliable, very terrible. And honestly, I don't know if this particular molt is going to be sexable. It doesn't want to seem to unfurl. And it's okay. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't remember what this molt came from.
It's okay. I would say, hold
Where
on.
are you going?
Yeah, I'm gonna take this for a second so I can get you some double A's. Hold
Oh
on.
my gosh. Hey, there's some here. It wasn't in the enclosure. So you can rehydrate and use older molts. Yes, absolutely, Larry. You can rehydrate any molt, no matter how dry or old it is. All you need to do is break that hydrophobic barrier, and dish soap seems to do that immediately with no problems.
Here, let's pause and let's replace your batteries here.
With what?
These are good double A's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Backlight. Yeah, gotcha.
Sorry, guys. Pause.
I don't know if this molt is even intact enough for me to sex.
Let's move on.
A great example.
No, I think that's great because that's how this goes. But I think
Yeah, it
maybe
happens.
why don't you find a molt that's kind of intact so you can kind of show them the whole anatomy? Because I think a lot of people when they're trying to look at molts, they either invert the abdomen.
Yeah, to look at the.
They're just looking at things upside down, or they're looking too far south, and the anatomy is usually, I guess, proximal. I guess toward in position to the chelicerae, and a lot of people look too far down the abdomen. So
Yeah.
I think it would be really good to like point that out, and that way you guys can kind of see where, in relation to the hook lungs, the anatomy is. Yeah.
I see math comments. I'm sorry.
Oh man, yeah, we got to work on that, man. Yeah, apophysis, wet. They like it wet. Good airflow, but man, lots of moisture.
Wow.
Lots of mist.
Your batteries don't like this.
What do you mean?
It's not even turning on at all. I changed.
Are they triple A and double A?
No, I know. Where'd you pull these from?
They're in a
Those
brand
are
new
new, right?
brand new box. Yeah. There we
Okay,
go.
this one works.
Boom. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, math. Could have been too dry.
Yeah.
It's really hard to tell. Chronic, I do believe chronic dehydration is a thing in my, singular anecdotal point of view. Might be worth explaining proximal distal. Yeah, exactly, Bev. I was just going to say, might be worth explaining what proximal distal, all those anatomical directionality terms mean, because even I could use a refresher. Caudal, what's the word for towards the head? All those things.
I don't know.
Caudal means towards the tail.
Caudal means towards the tail, or pertaining to the tail.
Anyway.
And it's cephalic.
Oh, cephalic, yes. So proximal, distal. Get back here. What are you doing? Explain all these scientific terms.
Again, I'm not the scientist here, but I do know.
You use the words proximal.
Okay. You got it. So,
as he says.
My friends,
Anyway,
let's talk about it.
Can you all see this? Not really.
So we have a couple of things.
Try.
We have caudal, which means pertaining to the tail, or toward the tail.
Yes.
We have cephalic, which means
toward the
head or pertaining to the head. We have proximal. So proximal and distal are two terms that describe a object's relationship in relationship to something else. So most of the time it's the head or the tail, right? So proximal to. So like
yeah. So typically anatomically, we're talking about the center of the body.
okay. See?
So proximal
Proximal would mean like closest to something.
The center of the body.
Of the center of the body,
Typically.
right? Distal meaning like further.
Away from the
So if
body.
you're talking about two anatomical parts, you have a distal and a proximal part. I guess on the we can talk about humans. I mean, if we're talking about the center mass, I mean, we're talking about like your digits, right? So proximal would be like, I don't know, your finger. Distal would mean your toes or something like that, right?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Proximal would mean like your shoulder. Distal would be like your forearm.
But I think it depends on what you're talking
right?
about. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a relative term, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of those things, proximal and distal are relative to the center or the
okay, so maybe just for the sake of the stream, we'll just say closer and further.
Yeah, we're getting
a little lot. We're getting.
Anyway, this particular individual.
I wish we had like a health science nerd in here that would just like shred us right now. Towards the trunk. There we go. Perfect.
Yes, exactly. Towards the trunk.
Thank you. I literally spoke too soon.
Proximal means towards the trunk, I believe. So this particular individual is going to give me a pain in the butt. Oh, did you all see that? This whole thing decided to flip over on me, but that's okay. I don't. So this is going to be hard to describe without an example. But this particular individual, I don't see any signs of the accessory organs or the other male anatomy on this particular molt. And I'm hoping I will get to show you guys an example of what that looks like.
Yeah, I really want to show them accessory organs. So
yes.
they kind of understand what they're seeing.
This one is a particular pain in the butt. So we're just going to move on from this one. Because it's not helping me with education. All right, let's see. What is this? I don't know what any of these are. Sex-wise,
you want to look at the little ones? No, let's do a big one first, and then we'll do a little one.
Yeah,
just gonna show everyone.
Give an example. Where the heck? You have the head one?
Yeah, you want?
Let me see. I just want to try to identify which species this is. I believe this is a Rufilata.
That looks like Rufi. I see yellow.
It's definitely a pokey, so we'll see.
These molts, guys, like that we're using, are probably years old.
Plus, like once you soak them in water, they start looking completely different from them. All right, so we're gonna try to locate ourselves on this this exuvia. So where the heck are we? What's this? Okay, so this is the bottom of what's the word for like the underside of the carapace?
I don't know, ventral,
sternum, something. I don't know. Anyway, this is the underside, the belly.
Yeah, the belly.
So,
which I have right now from all that Mexican food.
Entire collection of mountain molts. Me too. Towards the okay, so I prefer to orient all of my molts so that the chelicerae are facing me and the abdomen is facing away. That's just like my personal preference, so I always kind of
I think it's good to like do it over and over and over again the same way.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I can kind of orient myself where should XYZ anatomy be and where should XYZ anatomy
Caveman's reptiles, what's up, man? No, you are just on time. You're right on time. We have been kind of tinkering here this whole time.
Yes. So this is the what's the word? I'm drawing a blank on all these words. Anyway, this is the bottom of like the carapace of the tarantula. So chelicerae are facing me, abdomen is facing away. So the abdomen is where all of those sexual organs are found and where all of the, sexual dimorphism is found, at least in the molt. So we're gonna kind of go towards the abdomen here, and we'll see. This is all folded up, and it looks like a terrible piece of exuvia, but that's okay. Promise you, it is sexable.
Yeah, and then usually the way and then usually what you're going to start doing at this point is just start unraveling the abdomen.
Yes.
cut basically because you're going to be looking at a bunch of folds, and you're just trying to right the folds gently without tearing anatomy.
Okay, I can't do that anymore in here. But if you kind of soak these exuviae in the soap mixture for a few minutes, they'll kind of sort of unravel themselves. So this is not focused, but you can see these are the spinnerets here that are at the terminal, right? The terminal end of the abdomen, which is not what we want to look at. So everything that is attached to that terminal end of the abdomen, this might be a little bit controversial, but I like to tear all that stuff off because that's not helpful.
No, don't tear that because I want them to see, like, start somewhere and then come.
Look, I did it. See, I promise you it's not helpful with sexing.
Okay.
But I removed that. So we got the rest of the abdomen here. It looks like nothing, but guess what? I'm going to show you what we do with this. Kind of give it a couple pokes with our gentle pokes with our tweezers. And then we're going to try to unfurl this. Because I promise it is sexable. But we just have to avoid tearing it.
Everything we do is controversial.
Not the greatest example, of course. So we're just going to poke it with our tweezers. We're going to be gentle. So I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing. Nope, they got a terrible view. Anyway,
I'll fix that. Here.
Okay, yeah, get closer to this. See if they can see what I'm seeing. Because even the backlight is not the greatest. Hey, Ben. How's it going? It's already controversial. Okay, so this kind of comes with experience, but I can kind of see that here, I can see there is an edge to this Kiba.
Excuse me, Kiba. Hey. Jeez.
I can see that the edge of the exuvia is right here, and I'm kind of trying to gently grab that so we can unfurl that towards us without tearing it. There we go.
There we go. This is beautiful. This is like literally all I wanted you guys to see. Okay.
Beautiful.
So
okay.
we are.
So this looks like a whole lot of nothing.
We're opening the abdomen.
But this is perfect.
Okay. This is perfect. So the abdomen is now flat. All of the folds have been flattened.
Nope.
For the most part, we've got a little curve here, but for the most part, we're unraveling.
Yes.
Can you do me a favor? As soon as you do this, can you find the book lungs? You kind of show them where that's at.
So this, of course, is giving me a problem because some of it is still a little bit twisted up.
So all she's trying to do is completely flatten the folds.
Yep, stretch it out so that it's not twisted up at all.
And we will show you what you're supposed to be looking at here in just a minute.
These are the worst examples. Yeah, see this whole section here is still twisted, but
and that's what you need to see?
Yeah, right here. Let's see. It's the worst demonstration. Yeah, Ben, hope y'all do well too. How's your dad doing? Haven't heard from him in a while.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to hold the camera so you guys can see this a little better. I see the problem here. So the issue is up toward the carapace. A lot of the junk that we need to see is very tangled. So we're trying to untangle that right now.
Gently without destroying anything. So let me take a break for a second because my eyes need a break.
Yeah, I'm going to put you back into it.
Yeah, so we typically use these needle point tweezers, which I don't know if you can see how fine pointed these are. extremely fine pointed, but sometimes these are not even, you know, precise enough that we need. So I will use sewing needles for some of our smaller molts. So these, I'll show you a kind of difference here. If you can tell, if it'll show you. Yeah. Even these needle point tweezers are not as
I prefer
precise
this.
enough.
I prefer the sewing needles.
Yes.
Just because you can kind of, you know, do this.
Unfold things.
Unfold things.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna see if I can salvage this mold, because this is like the most.
One of these days,
terrible.
we're gonna get to show you guys what we want to show you.
Yeah, one of these things.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Frank, I have no idea what regular show is.
Oh,
do you know what regular show is?
I've never watched it, but I know what it is.
Well, apparently you sound like a character from regular show.
I do?
Apparently, I don't know. I've never seen
I do. Wait,
so.
Which character, Frank? Because now I need to watch the show. I'm offended.
You're
Offended that you didn't tell me sooner. Kiva. Wow, of course we get like the two worst examples of like a.
Well, you know what? We're almost an hour in, so we need to.
I promise you, this molt is very sexful. I'm just like trying really hard to not destroy it for you guys. So guess what? Maybe we'll just pass on this one and move on to the next one.
Gosh.
Eileen? Okay, I have no idea who that is, but I'm going to look that up. Frank, you're made of fine taste. Who's Eileen? I'm going to look that up. All right. Who's next? I thank you very much. Well, this Pokey is not doing a very good job, but we'll move on. Let's do someone with some urticating hairs, eh?
Sure.
So we have all of our molts separated at least by urticating hairs and no urticating hairs, simply because we had like dozens of people at expos ask us if we will sell or give away some of our molts. And I don't want to sell them quite yet, but I also don't want to be responsible for anyone having allergic reactions over molts that have urticating hairs. So I said, you're more than welcome to take molts home that do not have urticating hairs.
Or Yalis. There he is. Everyone's hungry. Yeah, it's feeding day. We've been feeding all day.
Regular show is OG. I guess we gotta watch regular show.
Sure.
All right. So again, you have the.
What you need?
You keep taking the headlamp. I think this is a Pokey. You don't know where the headlamp is?
Oh, didn't I go to
Yes, we are here. Anyway, this is an adult female Pokey of some sort. I don't remember off the top of my head which species this is. But just by the size alone, I can tell it's an adult female. You can kind of see how big that molt is compared to that 4-inch deli cup lid in the bottom of the cup here. We don't really need a microscope for this, but I'm going to show y'all what this looks like anyway.
No, they definitely need a microscope, and they definitely need to see the parts.
Yeah, so this is where it gets a little bit sad. I like to break these legs off because they get in my way. All these shed legs. You kind of see what I'm doing. It's just like chaos mostly. Break all these legs. All right.
Yeah, I don't know where your little headlamp went. I'm looking all over for it.
You got the other one?
Maybe.
Okay. Plus, it's much easier to just like separate all these limbs from the species that do not have urticating hairs because they're not going to irritate.
I'm telling you guys right now, get yourself these little headlamps. This one's cool because it can go code red, right? But these, no, this one's made by Nike. They don't make these anymore. But I'm pretty sure like Phoenix makes one. This one's awesome. I dropped this one in a river in Honduras. And I found it only because of this pink. I saw the pink at night because it fluoresced. But anyway, get yourself these for working with spiders at night. They fit comfortably on your head.
I don't know if you guys can see the thing.
I can't even see that. They're probably better off on
Yeah.
the phone. Anyway, definitely get yourself a headlamp.
Not the greatest. Here, irresistible, Nikki. Yeah, you can't see that from here. Anyway, this is a big spider. That's what I'm trying to get the point across. All right. So I voluntarily broke most of these legs off. I'm removing a couple more because they're just getting in my way.
You could just use scissors to clean those up.
Or just break it. Okay. So again, like we mentioned earlier, we're gonna position the chelicerae towards me and the abdomen away from me. And you can't really tell what the heck's going on here because I'm zoomed in pretty close. This is a big molt, like I said. But we do know that.
Well, you can start at one point that's obvious and just kind of like move your way.
See how like this, I can't move it more, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But as long as we know that the chelicerae are pointed towards us and the abdomen is pointed away from us, we can kind of try to orient ourselves. So this is like not.
Irresistible.
Irresistible.
I really like that. That's actually quite irresistible. I like that.
Okay.
Like there's so many ball python names. That one's good. Irresistible.
Irresistible.
That one wins.
Okay, so I think
You win,
here,
Nikki. You want me to turn that back on?
Yeah, because this molt is so big that I think it'll be easier if you kind of position your phone.
All right. I know, guys. I keep popping in and out of frame, but
This is terrible. Yeah.
hey, why don't you make this full screen? This part right here.
Yeah. I'll take those words out of context. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay. So you can kind of see, here's the chelicerae, here's where the fangs are. It's a little bit blurry, but I promise you these are where the chelicerae are. Abdomen is over here, away from us. Chelicerae are positioned toward us. So the molt is backlit. Are you still my thing? Oh, here that. Okay. So I promise you this is an adult female just because of the size, but we're going to confirm that with the molt. So in the microscope, we're going to position the molt towards the center, sort of. It's really hard to, yeah, there you go. Yeah, look at the molt instead of the screen because this one's so big. So like I mentioned earlier, we're going to just kind of tear away everything that's not helpful to us. So I took away the entire top of the abdomen, which doesn't have any of the sexual organs on it. We're going to kind of tear away all of the legs because that's kind of just a distraction. It's kind of positioning the molt in a way that is not helpful to us for sexing. And then what we're left with is this folded up abdomen. So gently with our soapy water, gently going to unfurl this abdomen with the soapy water, which is again just like 2 or 3 drops of water and then in its cup. It breaks that hydrophobic barrier, kind of makes this exoskeleton more pliable.
Yeah, it's just all the soap is doing, guys, is breaking the surface tension of the water.
So you can see this exoskeleton is already kind of torn. Here are the 2 larger buck lungs.
Can we show that in here?
Let's see if they will show up. Again, it's so big, guys.
So
It's tough. Yep. So there's the book lung, very opaque.
Yep.
And there is the other book lung, the other pair to that book lung.
So are we looking in between the book lungs, or are we looking slightly north or south of the book lungs? Right
So there are 2 pairs of book lungs on every tarantula, and the distal, so the caudal.
Further away from you. So
Yes,
towards the abdomen.
towards the back of the abdomen. Both lungs is farther than where we need to look. So again, this is the back of the abdomen. Of course, I tore that off, so that's not really helpful. But we want to look for the pair of book lungs that are closer to the center of the body. And guess what?
Oh boy, look at that, guys.
There's one. And
Can you point that out with your tongues?
Yeah.
I want to be able to see that on the.
Yeah, let me unfurl that. So you see this really big opaque little disc here? Guess what? That is the uterus externus of the female tarantula, particularly for the species. And see how I just kind of flipped that over? I don't know if you can even tell.
Yep.
It's extremely opaque. You can't see through it. It's able to be kind of flipped, manipulated. Yes. So that is
so there
right.
should be two of those, right?
No. So the uterus externus for Poecilotheria species is fused.
Did you hear that, guys? Say it again.
It's so hard to like describe this.
Nope, say it again.
Reference. So Poecilotheria species, most of them anyway, the uterus externus is usually a paired organ, which which you might see people describe them as bunny ears or something like that. But with a lot of Poecilotheria species, such as this one, I believe this is a Pyrogalis maybe. This is fused, so it kind of presents as like a disc, a fused disc. One big kind of organ that stores the sperm from a male tarantula.
Yep.
And
so guys, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
So, which part? Wait, okay. So here's another good part too. So I don't know if you guys can kind of see this, but I'm also kind of separating the actual uterus externus from the spermathecae here. I don't know if you all can see this. It's kind of hard, kind of difficult. But yeah, we're not. Anyway, so this is very plain and simply like a very mature female tarantula.
Boom, guys! I didn't even know that. So we're both learning.
But again, I don't think we really covered this a ton towards the beginning of our stream, but like this anatomy varies quite a bit between genera and even between species.
You think we can do a sling?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, no size. Love how there are just perpetual crickets chirping. Yes, it's great. Thank you.
Yeah, we've grown to love the crickets. Okay, we like the crickets.
Is it possible to sex them without a microscope? Yes. So, could we get a quick look at macro view? Yes, absolutely, 100%. However, even like with how much expertise, I don't even want to say expertise, with how much experience we have, it can be a little bit tricky to distinguish male accessory organs from spermathecae without a microscope.
And they're not sclerotized when they're young.
Exactly.
Right?
Can't hear it anymore. Can't hear the crickets or can't hear us? Okay.
Yeah, can you guys hear us?
Yeah, the crickets stopped, so it's...
Yeah, someone say yes. You can hear us.
Anyway, so I just wanted to point out real quick again, just for a frame of reference. So you see the spermathecae, which are sclerotized, which just means that how do I even describe this? Like the actual barrier of the uterus, the spermathecae, where they store sperm from the male tarantula, is really thick with an exoskeleton. So it's kind of opaque. You can't see through it. So you can kind of see here. You can't see anything behind this organ.
Okay, cool. Here. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, cool. So we'll just keep it on the screen then.
So one more frame of reference. So this is the uterus externus from this adult female, very clearly mature female. And then over here, right here, just right to the side of that, is one of the book lungs, the one that is the pair that is closer to the carapace. There's the uterus again, and then there's the other buck lung.
Bam.
And then that one's kind of hard to see. And then the distal pair of buck lungs is right here. Looks kind of similar. There's the other one. It's a little bit similar to the uterus, but we know that the uterus externus is located in between the first pair of buck lungs, which are closer to the carapace, if that makes sense. This whole area of the body, right here where the uterus externus is located, is called the epigastric furrow.
So when you see people like posting pictures and being like, "Can you vent sex my tarantula?" Internally, this is what we're looking at. And while there are some folks who are pretty good at looking at things externally, our preferred method is this way because inside the guts, it's much easier to tell.
Yes.
Or I guess I wouldn't say easier, but like more specific.
Very obvious.
And so like when we sell an animal as a molt-sex female or male.
I thought I heard butt plug.
Yes, butt plugs. Yes. Of course. But okay. Anyway, yeah. Yes. So what we're doing is we're trying to confirm this 2 times.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Let's put Ryan's face on there.
Hi guys.
Yes. So you screwed the camera.
No, I didn't. No, it's good. We're good.
Okay, good.
Okay. I want to do a sling. Let's see if we're gonna put Jessica on the spot and see if we can do a sling.
But what I was gonna say is this is, again, with the microscope, we're kind of aiming to look at smaller individuals. So this is like a really obvious example. However, we will try to show you all an example of a male of the same species. And I promise you, like, this whole big opaque flap here will just be gone.
Non-existent.
At least for a larger male.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at sexing males because there's nothing there. So.
Except for accessory organs.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
it's easier. Okay. Yep.
So we're very clear on that being a female. Okay. That's okay. It's not the best for you, but
I'm learning tonight too, guys. Again, this is like Jess is kind of like taking this particular aspect of spidering and
has Ryan like out. Told me, oh, you got to be really careful. You can't leave them under the river for 2 months.
Yeah, I gave her like a dulled down understanding of what this is, and then she just like figured it out.
Yeah.
So
it's like, you're wrong.
Yeah, she told me I was wrong, and I said, "Oh, that makes sense."
You need to like see these. Do a triple check, then a quadruple check, just extra confirm. See, the thing is, I've already done even the quintuple check, so this is just for you, Frank.
Yeah, this is so you guys and me.
See, like
I'm with you guys right now. This is so that we can.
Okay, well, this is another female. I think that's a birubies female. See, I don't remember who's who for some of these. We're just gonna like.
I say just like look at a spiderling.
This is a Metallica. I think this is a male Metallica. I guess we'll see. She's the one who got you into spiders. It's funny. It's the opposite.
It's the opposite. Yeah.
Well, actually, no, that's not even true because I've always wanted a tarantula since I knew what a tarantula was, and Ryan's always been arachnophobic. But like, I was always like, oh, I've always lived with people who wouldn't allow me to have a tarantula pet, and then all of a sudden Ryan was like, "Hey, you want this free $250 tarantula?"
Before we were dating, guys. Yeah, that was like
it wasn't even it.
It's kind of my in. It's like here's one. Anyway, yeah. So Jess has figured this whole thing out, and I no longer have to worry about it. So I don't. I worry about other things, like feeding these starving little spiderlings right now. Yes, that's my priority.
Anyway, notice how I'm kind of giving at least 30 seconds for this molt to kind of absorb the soapy water that's already on this little lid here. My husband's been arachnophobic, but me and her daughter love them.
I think that's awesome.
So easy, yeah. It's all about fear of the unknown, I feel like. Most of it, anyway.
Yeah.
Once you get to know them, there's no fear to be had.
so much easier to do during the day.
I don't know if y'all can see what I'm kind of doing here, but I'm just arranging the legs here on this molt so that they're not blocking my view. I'm straightening them out. If they fall off, I'm going to remove them because they're in my way. They're not helpful for sexing purposes. Let's see. I legitimately don't know who this is from. I just know that it's already sexed. Which means the knowledge of spiders turn fear into love. 100%.
Yeah,
I think this is
like an unhealthy fascination at this point.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
Okay. I'm going to straighten the legs out. We're going to be very careful because we don't want to break any parts off. Let's see if I can get that that sucking stomach in here again, just to kind of reiterate that. So here's my chelicerae. Again, I always orient. Actually, I did it the opposite this time. I oriented the chelicerae away from me and the abdomen towards me. As long as I kind of know which area of the body is oriented which direction, I suppose that's most important. So right here, you kind of see that little, I don't know if you can see that. That little organ, there we go, right there. That little organ right there. I don't really know what to call it. It looks like a little alfalfa sprout that comes right up.
Alfalfa sprout, that's like literally the perfect.
Alfalfa sprout.
Yeah, there it is. Nope, that looks good.
Yeah.
That's the sucking stomach. Looks like an alfalfa sprout or a little sperm. It looks like a sperm.
Yeah.
A little sperm head, guys. That's the sucking stomach.
Yes, it's a. Again, it's not anything that we're like, oh my god, I need to make sure my tarantula molted its sucking stomach. But like, if your tarantula is having a potential medical issue, you want to kind of examine the previous molt to make sure that that's there. That is what they use to eat and drink.
And guys, as I'm feeding here too, like you guys are watching me, please don't watch me. I'm actually like handing every spiderling. I'm handing it a live cricket, and this is kind of like a pro hack.
Pro hack.
Your spiderlings can eat much larger prey items. Usually crickets. I do this with crickets instead of roaches, but like they'll eat larger prey items if you just kind of like hand it to them. I don't know. It's kind of like a little handicap, but now I know that like each spiderling is taking the meal. I'm not just like letting it go. I'm not pre-killing it or anything like that. I'm handing it to it. And if it doesn't want to eat it, then I just let it. I don't let the cricket go. It's just like, okay, we'll try again later. Right? It's just easier that way.
Yeah. Jess's expertise is amazing. You see that comment from Matt?
Hey, telling me that's why she makes the big bucks. How
many years have you two studied spiders or generally been fascinated with them? So Math, I like to brag that I have the piece of paper that says that I have a biology degree in zoology, a bachelor's degree in zoology, but
I'm just an idiot.
We both are equally experts in the field.
I'm not an expert.
Experts.
Yeah, there's no such thing. Say. I think Jess and I are very transparent. Like the more you learn about these things, the more you know you don't know anything.
Exactly.
So we're just doing our best. We're just a bunch of idiots. Jess is a little more tedious and
I've always wanted arachnids, but I've always been just kind of distracted. I needed like a mentor, and eventually Ryan filled that void. Okay, so if you can, it's a little bit blurry, of course. Anyway, so this is the folded up abdomen of this spider. I'm gonna gently see. There's the spinnerets, which is the terminal end of the abdomen. Everything past that is not useful for sexing. So guess what? We're gonna tear it off very gently. So we're gonna grip. I gripped the terminal end of the abdomen right before the spinnerets, and we're gonna tear it off.
Hopefully you guys are warming up. Hopefully you guys are warm. Hopefully everyone's kind of thawing out and everyone's warm. I just want to say that. It's been very chilly and very frustrating.
Everyone's warm.
I hope everyone's
Yeah.
warming up here. Cooler temperatures are kind of like subsiding here a little bit.
Yes. So hopefully you guys can kind of. Oh, sorry. Okay. So this is the folded up abdomen after I've removed all the excess pieces that we don't need. So we're going to gently kind of unfurl this. And once again, I believe this is a male Metallica, P Metallica. We will see if the molt tells us.
All right, I'm
We're
gonna
gonna be
finish this
gentle.
tomorrow morning.
What, feeding?
Yeah, it's just it's harder to do at night.
Oh, yeah.
It's easier to do during the day.
Okay.
I'll just sit and watch Jess.
Sometimes we just kind of gotta poke the molt so that it gets, you know, we can get the air bubbles out of whatever's going on in there, and it can kind of absorb that soapy water to let that soapy water in there to kind of move things around.
I promise you guys, in person, like when you're doing this is much more. This is easier to understand and easier to follow.
Yeah.
You just got to take your time and let things kind of soak in.
Yeah. Contrary to what Ryan told me forever ago, you can't really wait too long. You can kind of soak these for several minutes. Warming up, we have at least been a week of... What? A week of snow? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was on the phone with my parents today. They're in Michigan. They're like, we just got 3 inches of snow again. I'm like, gosh, glad I don't live there anymore. Jeez.
Okay, I'm not sure if you guys can kind of see this, but this is like terrible. I wish you guys could see what I'm seeing here. Let's move this a little bit. So you can kind of see a little bit. So like you see here where it's kind of thinner, it's like a lighter yellow color, and then everything around it's darker. So that means these parts here are kind of folded in around the inside of the abdomen, if that makes sense. So at least you can make a snowman army.
You could do that, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gently going to kind of unfurl these thick exoskeleton pieces here on the abdomen. With a little tip.
That's why I like the, I prefer the sewing needles,
Yes.
you know, because you can kind of do this little dance. It's a little easier for me. Yeah, spider snowman. When June? What up, dude?
June's here. Spider Snowman, guess who's back? Heck
What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Man, I owe you some bell fry slings soon.
Yeah, when June, how's that snow, dude?
Yeah, how was your vacation?
You went on vacation? When you went on
We
vacation?
went to Asia, man.
Well, that's cool.
Okay, so this is not fun, but you see this big old hole there in the center? We don't want that, but it's there. It's, what's it called? The book lung is
Very white. That's what my mom always says.
Very
She's like,
white.
oh, it's so pretty.
There you go.
It's okay. I'll
No.
He was saying hi. There he is. Say hi, Keith.
Oh my god.
Kiva always needs to say hello. Hi, buddy.
Anyway, so we're gonna try to unfurl this half of the abdomen gently. All right. So
Look at that.
it looks like nothing. Like if you don't know what you're looking at, this looks stupid. Like it's hard to describe that. But this over here is the left book lung. This over here is the right book lung. And then we're going to kind of spread this out a little bit. The distal book lungs, I should say. Spread this out very gently. Try not to tear any more holes in the abdomen. Gently. So, the epigastric furrow, if you remember from the last time I said that, is located in between the first pair of book lungs. So, it's not between this pair. Guess what? It's between this pair.
You guys hear that? Everyone who views this in the future, pay very close attention to what she just said. Okay.
which I'll repeat, the epigastric furrow is located for tarantulas is located between the first pair of book lungs, the first being the closest to the carapace, the farthest away from the spinnerets, for example. So y'all might notice there's not a giant opaque thing right in the middle of these book lungs as with the previous spider.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? So let's make sure we're looking at the correct thing. So actually in this view, you can see both pairs of book lungs. Here's the top pair, the closest that are, the closest to the carapace. And then here's the distal pair here. So here is both pairs of book lungs. And here is the epigastric furrow right in the center. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit.
I can see it. I can see it. They can see it.
Okay, so we zoomed in, we focused a little bit, so you can still see the two book lungs here. And like I said, I was predicting this is a male P metallica. And can you guys see? I'm gonna zoom. I'm gonna zoom a little bit more. So anyway, there is no giant opaque epigastric furrow. There's a couple air bubbles there, so you kind of gotta either get rid of those or just kind of, there we go. So, what do you guys think? Do you see anything there that might indicate male or female? We see some slightly sclerotized structures. Let's see if I can focus on them. I don't know. I don't think they can see that. Let me see. Oops. Hit your
yep.
Your screen saver thing.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So blurry, dang it. Anyway, so you guys can kind of see relatively the two pairs of, or the one pair of book lungs there, and the absence of any epigastric spermatocae there. You kind of can't. There are two very small accessory organs there, but it's
like
hard to see
night.
here.
It's kind of night and day. Yeah.
Yes.
Night and day difference.
But this is a probably 3.5 inch spider here, so this is not anything that's like tricky as far as size wise, but this is very clearly like a male. Because even though we can sort of see very white, again, at least from what I'm seeing, we can see like a very small indication of, a pair of structures here right in the center of those book lungs. It's very obviously like male accessory organs for tarantulas specifically. Dang it, I don't think you guys can see that. But anyway, the point remains that you don't see a giant uterus externus there that would be at least partially sclerotized, at least sort of translucent, if not opaque, by 3 to 4 inch size there. So this is very obviously a male at this size. This is a 3+ inch P metallica. Male, says Frank. 100%.
Let's try and do a little sling and let's just see.
Great.
Yeah, we'll do a sling, guys, and then we'll kind of wrap it up.
Okay. So we're gonna do a P rufilata. I guess that one looks really small. This one's, I guess.
What I lay out for you? I got a versicolor, a rufilata,
in a
OBT, and then a avicularia Geraldi. Geraldi?
So tiny. I don't know about that.
Look, I've seen her sex little Celadonia that are like half that size, so I know she can do it.
Here's an OBT that's decent.
Yeah, try that.
Small size.
Let's do that.
Let's see. No, I mean, here's another Metallica.
OBT would be cool.
We'll see. Okay, so I just put the molt on the little platform here with the soapy water to let it absorb the water for a second. The soapy water, which is like 1 or 2 drops of Dawn dish soap to break that hydrophobic barrier. I keep wanting to say hygroscopic.
Yeah, almost. How big is that sling, would you say?
Oh.
Diagonal leg.
Well, just barely over 1 inch.
Okay, so small.
Yeah. It's like an ice cream sandwich. Yes. I wish. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna bring this a little bit closer to me just so I can kind of, again, I don't know if you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna flip it over just to flatten the molt out, to position all the legs out as if the spider were alive, and we're just kind of gently. I don't like this. I think it's gonna be a good exemplar. We'll
Yeah,
see.
it is a little small. It's
See.
always tricky, but the point is that I want to show you that it can be done.
Yeah. So a good little hack I get, or a cheat code, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, is the top of the carapace where the eyes are on a molt. If you kind of, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but it's kind of right here at the tip of my tweezers here. Oh, and it's not attached, so that doesn't help. Anyway, that's usually attached to the top of the abdomen, so if you very gently kind of pull that away from the rest of the body, you can kind of position the abdomen where you want it to be. And of course, it didn't work again. That's okay. Every one of these molts has not cooperated with me. That's okay. We're still going to sex them all. Let's see what this looks like in the microscope. Oops. Okay. Oh.
Oh, Purpurea.
There we go.
There he is. Hungry little guy.
I've seen a lot of posts lately in the groups where lately and in general, where people are like, oh no, the molt got destroyed. I hope it can be salvaged, when most of the time, all of the pieces that you need to sex it are completely intact and totally fine. The problem is...
You guys want to check me out real quick? Look at that. Little itty bitty Purpurea.
Oh, shit, hold on.
And I just fed it a 1/4 inch cricket.
Yeah, he's like...
Off tongs.
Oh. Tiny.
So I just want to show people that too. Very small. What instar are these? 3rd?
I mean, 2nd or 3rd top.
2nd or 3rd. Anyway, no problems whatsoever.
He just got, booted off to the...
Yeah, but it's because I handed it to him.
Yeah. Sometimes the cricket still bounces them away, but the spider's like, that's fine.
Yeah, they'll take care of it.
Yep.
Which is good for us because we don't have the time necessarily to check on them, 2-3 times a week. We'll miss everybody. But if we can just physically hand them that larger prey and we're like, boom, that spiderling is good for the week. We'll check on it again next week. You know what I mean? And then we'll just continue to miss. So they can definitely be tongue fed. Now, I would never just throw that 1/4 inch cricket in that vial for that spider at that size, even though I'm sure it would be fine. We hand it to them with these little guys, right?
So for this molt, I threw a leg in from one of the previous molts that we were just sexing, just so y'all can see the frame of reference for sizing. So this was a leg from not the Metallica that we just sexed, but the one before that we were having trouble with. So this leg itself is at least 3 inches long. The molt itself is maybe 1 inch long. Oops.
Another one, just a big old cricket. That cricket's like easily the size of the spider. So check that out.
So for this molt, here is the bottom. I need to relearn anatomy because I'm like anatomy terminology anyway, because like here's the bottom of the carapace again, where all the legs kind of meet in the center of the bottom of the carapace, just to orient you with the molt that we're looking at right now. The chelicerae are right here. They're kind of torn up, but we know what we're looking at. Here is the abdomen this way, and it's kind of all curled up.
That looks like a mess.
A bunch of air bubbles around it. It's great. That's okay.
I don't do this.
We're going to poke it gently with our tweezers and try to not
It's like,
tear it.
what do you call those things where you're like ciphering a little code out of something? It's like that.
It's not that bad. Yeah, we got to do like a part 2 for this because
Sure.
I didn't even cover half of
Yeah.
what I
What do you guys want us to talk about next week?
wanted to cover.
I have a lot of ideas.
Frank already gave you the answer.
What was that?
The second book right there.
Oh, urticating hairs? Yeah, hazmat suits.
Yeah, I think the entire
Just kidding.
stream would be I don't like them. I don't want to deal with them. I don't like them. So
No. Yeah, so like like we've talked about this before, but like we don't get a lot of unless we're like feeding slings or like packing slings, you know, with our adults, we don't really like deal with urticating hairs because there's no need to. Like the animals again have their retreats and things like that. So like when we access the enclosure to mist or feed, you know, we don't get urticating hairs that way. It's really more like we're in their space. And they're usually small, and usually it's not really an issue. Again, they still really don't do it. But like Theraphosa and Senescus and stuff like that, maybe the small ones might. But again, it's just, I think it's all about being minimally invasive and then giving them somewhere to go. Just giving them somewhere to hide so that they can just dart into there, and then you're not dealing with hairs.
plus, like I know at least I don't know if she wants me telling this outwardly, so I'm not going to name her, but I know someone who has been keeping tarantulas for a long time and said, like, over time she has developed an even more severe reaction even to avicularia urticating hairs, which
I've heard that too.
they don't really flick hairs. They kind of just wait for contact. So it is possible to develop a worsening immune response to them. I don't think Ryan or I really have a strong immune response to them, so I don't really think we are the best.
They definitely like, you know.
Yeah.
But again, it's only like when we're packing spiders for shipment or
Cleaning out old enclosures.
maybe cleaning an old enclosure. Which, if that's the case, if you're just cleaning out an old enclosure, just wear nitrile gloves. But it's tough because like my solution to that is just leave them alone.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? Which I mean, that kind of looks like many different things, but I think prevention is the best way to go about that. Just give them somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Cleaning substrate. Yeah, like once it's on you, like I've always found that like using like if you get them on your skin, I've always used packing tape. So like if you have tape for like packaging or even just Scotch tape, and then just kind of like going across your hand or your arm, whatever part has been hit with the hairs, and just trying to get the hairs out of your skin that way, right? Because at the end of the day, under a microscope, they're just little barbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So use tape and kind of go like that, like put the tape on your skin and pull up. Try to get those hairs to come out of your skin.
We picked like the worst molts
No,
for this stream.
that's the way it goes.
It's true.
You can't like screen things that like I just literally threw a bunch of like raggedy molds at Jess and was like, here you go.
Yeah,
Try that. And that's just kind of how it goes.
But I think we should do it in part 2 because we have so many molts to go through, and like
yeah, I mean, we could literally be here all night.
I'm just gonna put this one to the side because that one's gonna take me a second to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna like look at this OBT because that'll be easy.
Yeah.
Pretty sure this is a male too.
All right, we'll check out the OBT and then we'll call it, guys.
Yeah.
Next week, I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Follow-up question 2.
Yeah, I did.
Struggle is real.
Yeah, I think what it mostly comes down to is just patience. Again, get yourself those little sewing needles, those really fine tip sewing needles, and use those to manipulate molts. But there is so much you can do with these little LCD screen, cheap, like Chinese made microscopes. They really go a long way for what you're trying to see. Because you're not looking at anything like cellular or anything like that. You're just trying to look at very small anatomy, right? And so usually like these little microscopes do the trick, and they're relatively inexpensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, though, get yourself a little puck light, like Jess is for backlight. Because like really expensive microscopes, they have a bottom light to them. You know, like you in science class, like, you know, they all have a little light at the bottom. You can recreate that, but with just a little puck light.
Okay, so this little one that I'm broadening out here is an OBT. I believe it's about 2.5 inches. Pretty sure this is also a male, so this will be a good example, I think. Let's see. Okay, so I positioned the chelicerae. This is, again, very bad picture of it, but the chelicerae are right here.
No, yeah, there's some fangs. Yeah, so you know what we're looking at here.
Yeah, they're kind of positioned.
Yeah.
Defend or aggressively. Anyway, there we go.
See how easy it is to like kind of focus and kind of dial in.
Yeah, here's the chelicerae. So we're gonna position them towards me. And then the abdomen is away from me. There's the bottom of the carapace, like the plastron of a turtle. That's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, so the abdomen should be away from us. So there's some legs, and then here's the folded up abdomen, which is totally fine. It looks like it's totally intact. We just have to unfold it.
Yeah, so see how it kind of looks like a folded mess as it's coming off the carapace there. And that's the part where you just want your little needles so that you can slowly unravel and start looking at, you just want to flatten it out.
Yes.
But I think the biggest thing is identifying, is it upside down, and like which side is upside right, right? Exactly.
So first thing I like to do, once again, this one's kind of small, so I don't feel the need to remove the legs. They're not getting in my way, so we're going to leave them there. They're good for orientation. But so as I explained in the previous molt, the top of the carapace is usually attached to the top of the abdomen. So I don't know if you can really tell here, but the spinnerets are kind of right there, and then this is the top of the abdomen. Here is the top of the carapace, and there's the eyes. Fun. So we're going to just remove that because that's in our way. And that's gonna
Frank, what I think I'm understanding is you just want to hear Jessica talk more, which I'm fine with.
No.
I hate rambling as much as I do on these things. So if you guys if you just want to hear Jess talk, we can.
I don't like talking, so
look,
sorry.
I know you have to.
No.
They said.
I said no.
Jess said no, but you know.
Flies in my face.
Yeah, there are flies.
Okay, so you see that little hard angle there? Yep, I chopped all that off because I don't need that. But here's the part of the abdomen that I do need. Here's the middle of the belly, as I said. Here's the remainder of the abdomen. So let's see if
what are you doing, boy? Come here.
No.
Come say hi. It's okay. You can come say hi. Come here.
Goodness. So I think I explained a little bit before. If you kind of just gently poke it, you can kind of get the air bubbles out, get the soapy water in so that it makes the molt more pliable. But we're going to kind of be a little bit, so this is a little bit twisted. If you kind of saw that there.
Come up here. Come say hi.
You can kind of see that this abdomen is twisted.
Say hi to everybody.
180 degrees.
Look, it looks like he's looking at a ghost.
Oh my gosh.
Say hi to everybody.
Silliest dog. I almost said stupidest, but I'm not going to say it.
Oh, Kiba is a stupid
silliest dog. I'm going to try. So sometimes it's worth it to just. So, hold on. I should mention this. So the book lungs.
Why do you look like this?
You can see both book lungs on this spider Here's the, one half of one pair. Here's the other half of the other pair. So our sexual organs should be right here in the middle. Once we unravel this, they should be folded right about in half here. Getting distracted from the whole pretty doggy.
Yeah, Kiba's our very special boy.
He's extremely special.
I don't know why he looks like he's looking at a ghost right now.
Special is a very, very good word for it. Let's see if I can do this without tearing it.
It's full of burrs.
Oh yeah.
It's gotta clean you, boy.
I'm gonna poke it a little bit. Actually, I think it was rotated about 360 degrees because you can, if you kind of know what you're looking at, you can kind of see it's still rotated another 180 degrees here. But this is a good tear opportunity here, so I'm going to be really gentle. We picked like the worst examples.
No, I think we did great. I think it was good to show that this process is complex.
It's not always easy.
And
it
tedious.
Can be easy.
Hey, but you know what, guys? You asked for this. You asked for this, okay? And we love you. We love you. He was looking at me like, why? Why would you do that?
Frank, Kiba is a Yakutian Laika, a purebred Yakutian Laika, AKC breed.
Yep. If you
a little bit rare.
If you like dummies,
A little bit dumb.
I highly recommend these dogs.
They are they look a lot like huskies. They are absolutely night and day from a typical husky temperament.
Very special.
Very special.
Very special dogs.
At least this one is.
But he's a good boy. They're very good dogs. Just not a lot going on upstairs. You know what I mean? Anyway, what should we talk about next week, buddy? You want to talk about?
We gotta do part 2 for this because I feel bad. We didn't deliver on this. This all of these Molts.
This is how it goes when you do live, guys. This, you know what I mean? Like, we could edit this and it could be long and boring and annoying, but this is what happens when you do live stuff.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I'm able to sex everything with no problems, but.
I want to do a compare and contrast of different enclosure types. I think that's something I want to talk about. Like acrylic versus glass would be good.
Acrylic versus other plastic.
Yeah. Other plastic enclosures, because there's not just acrylic, right? You have polystyrene enclosures and PETG. So just kind of talk about that. And I've seen a lot of comments about acrylic lately, and people don't seem to understand the price difference when it comes to acrylic. Yes, I know, buddy. So we could talk about kind of what you're paying for when it comes to acrylic and stuff like that, and what that looks like. We could talk about that. We definitely have some preference when it comes to acrylic enclosures, so we could kind of cover that too. Everyone knows I like glass, but a lot of people like acrylic and other things like that. So
this is impossible. It's actually frustrating me.
Not working?
No, it's just folded, and I don't want to tear it, so I'm trying to be really careful. But it's just not unfolding. I'm trying to watch myself.
Frank, if you want to if you want to do a daycare, you want to work on a daycare program for Kiba, this is what you get right here, man. We could figure that out. So
can't pet the doggy from here.
I know. All he wants to do is just.
All he wants to be pet. All he wants is to be pet. That's it.
That's all he wants.
100% of his life. All right, let's see.
Yeah, but I know you guys can tell just by looking at him. There's just not much going on. So,
I can't even.
But he's a very sweet boy.
Promise you, he's much more attractive than that too. Yeah.
All right, you're pushing it, lovely. You're pushing it.
It's almost dinner time. I just want to sex this OBT. That's all.
Anyway, guys, go ahead and check us out. Spiders After Sunset Social. Check that out. We just announced.
Yep.
Yeah, he does have. He's nice eyeliner.
Just announced our March.
Our March giveaway is female Pussylatheria Highland.
U.S. captive born and
U.S.
bred.
captive born and bred. And that is a gift.
Gift.
It's a gift. We have to be very clear about that.
Yep.
And, it could be yours. So check that out. I'm telling you guys right now, I could let Jess go at this all night, and she would be here all night trying to figure this out. So
You picked the worst examples for this, and I'm sorry.
So yeah, we'll do a part 2.
Yeah,
we'll do a part 2, and we'll
definitely
cover
do
this.
Part 2
All right,
'cause
I'm putting you down.
I feel terrible.
Oh, on. Go. Okay, you got me all fuzzy. Go on, bub. Go. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even. It's just folded perfectly in half, and like I can't. It's.
That's all right. We'll come back at it. You guys, we'll do a part 2, but
Definitely look at that.
hopefully we answer some questions about anatomy here. This is kind of a tedious little process.
Folded in half. But hey, look at those book ones.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we know that. I can see it is folded in half. Yeah.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the epigastric furrow.
Yeah.
It's a male, I promise. Anyway. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll do a part 2 because this was pretty not the most informative.
Sounds good. We'll do a part 2. Probably not next week. I think we're going to cover a different topic next week. I got some ideas, so we'll talk about that. Yeah, Jess is totally into that. If you guys can send them nicely so that they don't get crushed in the mail, email us, martialarachnids@gmail.com. Jess can do this thing for you guys. She's happy to send stuff for free. Usually animals that you get from us, again, we follow this process. We do this twice, so we at different life stages so that we can guarantee that. But yeah, you guys can totally email us or and send us a molt in the mail, and Jess can do her thing. So
wait, I think I just got it.
Frank, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys. John's Planet Aquariums, awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, guys. Next week, I'm not really sure what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about it tonight, and then we'll kind of announce the topic. If there's anything you guys want to know or see or have questions about, let us know. I kind of want to do another feeding video and a rehousing video.
Did it.
Oh, Jess finally got it. This is great.
I just decided to like tear it up and it didn't like ruin itself on me anyway.
Awesome. Yes, we are going to Tinley. I think before Tinley, we're going to be at the Southeast Reptile Expo in Atlanta. We'll be there with 2 tables full of goodies, fun stuff on the acrylic enclosure front coming. We've got some updates soon. Probably we'll talk about that at Tinley. I decided to just like tear this molt apart because I was getting frustrated with it, which is funny because it worked just fine. And guess what? Let's see if I can. Oh yeah. Of course, it's like not. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Flowing. I think my problem is I added too much water to this little platform here. Anyway, a reminder, this is an OBT. Here's the pair of booklings that are closest to the carapace. Wow. Guess what? There's nothing there. Damn. It's not very focused. Guess what? There's nothing there. Baboon species, which is the African species, are pretty easy to sex. Oh, there's a lot of. I don't know if y'all can see that little kind of absence of hair right in the center of that first pair of booklings there. That's a very clear sign that is a male. Baboons sometimes have some accessory organs, but like this size baboon, this OBT does not have very. Why it's
moving so much. Does not
A
have very
pink-sized rescue. Celadonias. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm never gonna buy another one because now I don't have to.
Celedonia?
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy any more
Wow.
Celadonias. We don't have to. We
Wow.
finally have a confirmed female, and we're gonna make them. I swear on my life, we're gonna make more Celedonia. So in a minute, but yeah, I'm not gonna buy any more. We're gonna make them, and we'll let you guys know once we have them for sure. That's on the list. Jess somehow miraculously confirmed a female, but we've got like what, 8 of them, 9 of them, something like that.
Not that.
How many we got?
I've got like 6.
6.
5 or 6. Yeah.
Good enough. So we'll have
Yeah, we're gonna
Celadonias
make
in the
babies.
future. Yeah, that's on the agenda. And also more daemon species. I really want to produce those this year. We've
Spiders.
yeah, we just put them in our greenhouse, so hopefully it's a little more humid for them in there, and we'll make some more web spiders. So I keep it here all over me. Anything else?
Just came. Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well, we love you guys.
We'll do more molt-sexing part 2. I'm sorry that wasn't extremely informative.
You know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? We'll take a we'll treat these like slides. So we'll kind of get something set up on a bunch of different slides, and so that way we in the future we can show you guys like different examples of what we're looking at, or you guys can send us your molts, and then we can sex them for you, and then kind of do it that way. Jess can sex them for you. So cool.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anne. Thanks, Frank.
You guys.
Size Rescue. Thanks, Trevor. Thanks, John. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
We love you guys. All right. Have a good night.
Bye. See you tomorrow on Palm Street.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Mention Palm Street.
Check us out on the Palm Street app real quick, guys. Tomorrow we have a live auction sales event going on. Tomorrow at what time? I think it's like 7 Central.
7 Central.
We've got some cool stuff lined up. So download the Palm Street app. We're gonna have an auction. You guys can hang out with us just like this, except this time we're gonna be selling stuff. It's gonna be fun. So check us out on Palm Street.
Thank you all. I love you.
Love you guys.
Oh man, I was supposed